this is the most talked about quarterback that I have seen this offseason, and that is JJ McCarthy. And you're moving on from Sam Darnold, who had a phenomenal season last year. But man, Kevin O'Connell is just, I think, given Vikings fans plenty of reason to believe that he can make it work with any quarterback, especially the guy that they went up and got and drafted in the first round. A year ago, over a year, just a little over a year ago. So he misses all of last season due to injury, but you have him as the reason for optimism here for the Minnesota Vikings.
Well, you know what? Look, Vikings fans are going to have to be optimistic about McCarthy because they really have no other choice, right? The Vikings flirted with several other options this offseason, but they're committed to McCarthy as their guy. And look, I don't think we can sit here and expect him to be the best quarterback in the league or anything like that, coming off of the knee injury, not playing last year, and basically this being his rookie year. But I think he's fully capable of going in and doing what any other quarterback has done under Kevin O'Connell, including Sam Darnold last year. Go in, do the job, make the reads, make the right throw. It's that simple. And McCarthy, that's what he always did under Jim Harbaugh at Michigan. There weren't a whole lot of games where he went out there and threw for 350, 400 yards, right? That's not his style. He's going to run the offense. He's a great play-action passer. He's operated under center before. That's not going to be an issue in Minnesota either. So I think he's adjusted to a pro-style offense even during his days at Michigan under Jim Harbaugh. He just has to go out there and execute, right? And Trevor, you tell me also, there seems to be some controversy lately about McCarthy not having a strong arm, and I don't understand that at all. Just throwing it out there. I think he's got a pretty darn good arm. So I think it's more so that he has to work on the touch and maybe some layering of some throws. But there's been a lot of talk about, he doesn't have. I'm like, what am I missing here that there's some lack of miles per hour on McCarthy's arm? Because I don't see that one bit. I think he's got a really darn good arm, actually.
Yeah, I absolutely would not say that like McCarthy has a weak arm. I don't remember noting that at all during his time when he was at Michigan. Now, I think that some people, when they do scouting and they do their evaluations of quarterbacks, sometimes they can have a point of view that might be like a little bit skewed. Like, is it Josh Allen's arm? No.
But nobody's
is it Patrick Mahomes' arm? No. But basically, like, nobody is. And I think the important thing when you're scouting and you're evaluating players, more importantly than like elite traits, in my opinion, because if you have those, obviously that they're very evident. And if you could stand head and shoulders above NFL level competition, that's a major difference maker. So of course you want to make note of that. But to me, it's much more important to note: do you have adequate ability? Like really, like that's what it is. If you have if JJ McCarthy has the 10 to 15th strongest arm in the NFL, that's fine. Like that's not a bit. Like that's not an. You don't have to write that down as like, okay, now this is an issue. Now we have arm strength worries. Like again, is it in like tier 1? I wouldn't say that it's in tier 1, but as long as it is adequate, or maybe like just above, between adequate and good, whatever you want to call it, adequate and great, whatever your scales are, that's totally fine. So that's always sort of like where I thought McCarthy was. So I agree with you. I don't see these issues of arm strength with him. I think the arm strength is totally fine, and I'm just excited to see him play this season. I'm especially excited to see him play behind what could be the best offensive line in the NFL. Another reason for optimism that I would bring to the table: having Christian Darrisaw, having Brian O'Neill, having Will Fries and Ryan Kelly now, and now you draft Donovan Jackson. Like this could genuinely be the best offensive line in the NFL. All due respect to the Philadelphia Eagles, and who have been just obviously unbelievable, and they're fantastic. But the Vikings could be right there in that top 3 conversation.